Now it's time to turn off the main road as I am delivering this bike to a person in need. And no more asphalt. It is sand time. This is the road that goes toward the village where the person who I am delivering the bike lives. This part is concerning because it is the first time that I am riding on sand like this. You gotta watch out for the piggy. There's always little random animals that you have to deal with, whether you're in the southern part of Cameroon or in the north. You just have not only pedestrians but also various animals, so gotta keep that in mind. But yeah, so far the sand here is not too bad. It's not like I'm riding in the bush where there could be deep sand because it's not very well ridden. This is actually pretty good, compacted, not too bad. I literally had no practice. I want to deliver a bike to someone. I know that they live in a sandy area, and here I am on the bike just deciding that, hey, I'm going to ride on sand, even though it's going to be more limited traction. There is limited traction in some places where I live in the south. Some of it could be dusty. So it's not sand, but it's fine dust that can kind of mimic sand in some ways during dry season. But this is not just dust. It's actually sand. So it's fine. I am one of the things that I always try to do is I try to keep the bike really steady. I try to keep the throttle steady. I try to look straight ahead. I'm not looking down. Basically any sort of limited traction environment, I pretty much do the same thing. Just looking straight ahead, not giving abrupt braking, abrupt throttle inputs. I'm trying to keep the wheel straight. So I think that as long as everything is smooth, everything should be okay, especially with this not being so deep. This road right here is a main artery, even though it is a sandy road. There's a lot of traffic going back and forth here that you'll see. A lot of it is going to be bike traffic. You may see the occasional van or the occasional car, but most of the traffic and ferrying of people back and forth and goods you're going to see done on motorcycles. For example, you can see this guy is carrying, I don't know if these are kind of like mats. This guy is carrying ahead. So probably there's some buyer and there's someone who needed to have some mats, and so this guy's like, all right, load them up on my bike, I'll take them for you. There's no truck, there's not a car, just load it up on the bike. Here we are coming up on a checkpoint right here, and you can see there's several bikes. I just need to get up ahead because I don't really have any goods, and I really don't want to be stopped. I don't like being stopped at checkpoints. So while they're occupying themselves, checking out these other guys who are carrying various farm products and things like that, I'm just going to inch ahead, and presto, they allowed me through. So that's really, really great. I really am not. There's a lot of checkpoints here in Cameroon, and they're kind of unknown. You just don't know necessarily what's going to happen. Some are very straightforward, and some are not so straightforward. So I just prefer to go on ahead without being stopped or questioned or anything like that. They don't really stop everybody. They just stop certain people. It seems like at that checkpoint they were more focusing on all the goods that are varying back and forth, not back and forth, but they're looking at the goods that are coming in. So I don't have any goods, so there was no need really to stop me, especially because there was already a bunch of people with goods in front of me. Now, if there had been a lot of people like me who didn't have goods, they may just stop all of us. However, I took advantage of the fact that they were more focused on the goods because they're going to ask some questions, and I prefer not to be just involved with any of that. The sand does vary a little bit. There's some parts on the side there that's a little bit thicker. I'm trying to stay more in the lines that are more compact. Again, with this being my first time riding on sand like this, so far so good. I'm very pleased to not have to deal with any kind of weird deep sand, even though again on the sides of the road you can see a little bit of it. Have some nice little mountains in the distance. This is pretty flat territory right here. You don't really see a lot of hills. Where I stay there, it's very hilly, and so it really challenges your bike riding skills. But over here, it's more flat land with like certain hills or mountains in the distance, and you have like some tribes that will live on those mountains, but the vast majority of the people live sort of on the flatlands, and therefore a lot of the bikes here, for example, they tend to be your 100cc bikes, maybe 125cc bike, because really there isn't really much of a need since a lot of the land is flat, whereas where I live there's a lot of there's more mountains, and it's a hilly, it's like the highlands of Cameroon where I stay, so you're gonna have a lot of hills here, so that's where it's kind of made my motorcycle journey a little bit more difficult. I'm kind of now thankful because, you know, now driving on something flat like this is not such a big deal, so I'm really happy about that. And here we are coming into a more built up area. This isn't exactly where the person lives. I think it's maybe a town or so, or a village or so before I meet up with the person who's receiving the bike. There is some cement block construction, but a lot of this is not made with cement. I mean, of course, people are also building with mud brick. I'm assuming they build some of it with the sand, local sand. You can look at some of the more brown colored bricks here. You can see that on the left there. You can see someone made something with more local materials, and now you have a cinder block material right next to it. Now this is again more built up, but I need to stop right here because I'm a little bit confused as to where I am. I don't have a phone mount for my GPS, so I'm going to take a little bit of a moment here and ask for some directions before I continue on. Like, where exactly is the town or village where this person is? So I just need to check out, go out in the distance, and I saw some guy sitting underneath a tree, and they're gonna hopefully let me know that I'm not too far away. All right, so they just said I need to go a little bit further. So I'm just going to keep it going a little bit further here. Again, as I was saying, you can see some more of these mud brick probably mixed with sand homes as I'm going along the way here. And this is just a way to, you know, save money, economize. People will just sometimes just dig local holes, add water, and I don't know exactly how they make it. Maybe they add some straw, but, you know, definitely cheaper than using the more expensive cement. I'm really glad. I mean, so far so good. The road is pretty good, still good, pretty decent. Nice seeing some of the architecture here. We have some really nice built-up places here. It's kind of a mix of maybe some more wealthy individuals that have built homes in their village. And a lot of these homes are inside of compounds with walls, and you see these metal gates. I don't know what that is. Something that's painted. Or maybe that's someone's compound or a school, or I'm not sure. And right next door is like more local materials. Okay, just pull out in front. No problem at all. So back there, when I was asking for directions, I was a little bit afraid because I'm trying to keep my identity incognito. This is a very, traditionalist area. The far north in general is very traditional, and I'm not inside of a major city. So, I'm trying to hide a little bit that I'm female, and so I took a little bit of a risk when I was getting off to ask them for directions because, they're going to definitely hear my voice and that I am female. And so that was a bit of a risk. But, hey, it's not like it's super dangerous. But, again, what I'm doing is very odd as a woman. It's very odd that I am driving a motorcycle by myself. And even the gear that I'm wearing, it's, as you can see here, nobody is really wearing gear. And I am. And so I tried to keep it more on the down low. Looks like this is it. This is it, where the destination where I need to be, but I don't know where the person is, so I need to find some good place to turn off here and maybe call the person and see where to go. So let's check this out. Awkward getting off the bike here. Ugh. Let's park this thing. Yeah, let's take the key. Okay. I think I have an idea where to go now. So, let's get this party started. Or get the party continuing. Here we go. There's this really wide open space in here. And over in the distance is a market that I have to go through. Apparently, this is a market day that I arrived on. A lot of these villages and towns, they have what you would call a market day, where a lot of vendors, even from outside of the village, will come in with their wares. And the market, during the other times of the week, it would be very difficult to find things. So if you need something for your house, or you're looking for certain kinds of food, pretty much the market day is the time to come. Even if you need your bike repaired, even motor mechanics will come to the village. So that's the day to get certain things fixed or find technicians. I mean, it is the day of the week to get anything done. So here we are. You can see behind me, even in front of me, you can see the people having their wares out for the market day. We have a lot more people around. I have to be really careful as I'm going through here. Also, the sand is varying depths as well in here. This isn't like the main road. So I need to go to a place close to the market. Just slow speed maneuver skills here. Slowly going through everyone here. It's really cool to see all of the colorful ways of dressing, especially that the women have. And here I am in my all black motorcycle gear, trying to be incognito as much as I can. Although probably not for long, because I was supposed to go to a place to meet the person at this hospital that is by the market, and I might be here, so let me ask again. I'll see that I'm female again. Okay, so this looks like it's the place, so I can now call the person, let them know that I have arrived, and then wait. Okay, so at least now everything should be okay. Let me be a little bit more incognito while I'm waiting. That'd be good. Just a little precaution. Here he is, trying out the bike for the very first time. He was very, very happy to have this new bike. Here it is. It is a Nampang Turbo. Basically, it's a Chinese budget bike that is a knockoff of the Bajaj Boxer 150X, which is an Indian bike. But it is, I enjoyed riding it. I think it's very powerful for the area where he'll be working. This will help him with his work. This will help him with his family, his life. And so I was very happy to be able to deliver this bike to him. We actually had someone who donated, and so that this person would be able to use it. So I was just really happy to be able to help in the process of making the purchase and delivering it to him. It was a great trip, a great adventure for me, and I hope to come again and see more of the far north.